wave of Spartans, it's your friend MonocleMAYHEM entirely blue Spartan. And, yet again, we are going to do some, well, whittle away at some concept art that I've been working on. Mostly in these streams. I just started like 3 days ago, I think. Progress has been made, but we're still ways off from where we want to get to. Like, I'm just doing some basic sketching over top of this 3D render here. And basically just using the render to, like, already have an idea of the proportions. Without having to, like, kind of like, fucking, what do you call it, do it for yourself, in the old-fashioned way, where you just have to, like, build up shapes or sketch broadly or whatever the fuck you do. It helps a lot. Like, it's not exactly full-on tracing. There are deviations from the 3D model, as I'm going to point out later, because the 3D model isn't perfect. So there's going to be certain after the fact flourishes. Yeah, the 3D model is really good for getting a sense of where, like, light and shadow should be on, like, the particular thing that you want to draw. Like, setting up a model in Blender and just, like, putting a certain type of lighting isn't too hard from a beginner standpoint, so I highly recommend it even if you don't have much experience with 3D models. Just incorporate it into your 2D art however you see fit. You'll find a place in there somehow, I imagine. Speaking of which, I'm going to show you guys some more art of mine. Let's see here. Yeah. Sorry, just looking for them. These important pictures. I'm also pretty big too, so I had any raid or whatever the fuck the saying is. Looking for the right fucking folder. It's very dense volume here. Users, there we go. Aha. There we go. Now we can get this on the show on the road, so to speak. Here it is. This is some concept art that I made for my animated pilot, and incorporates some 3D model, like a lot of different techniques here. It's a lot of painting over and photo bashing and using painting over 3D models, like all these things hanging from the antlers of this Wendigo kaiju here are painted on. Same with the blood on the tips, the blood on the eyes, the eyes are photo bashed. Trees are photo bashed and painted over, same with some of the rocks. Honestly, it could be better in some areas, but overall, I'd say it gets the point across very well. It's just very, just look at that, that's one of our characters just at the bottom here. Just completely helpless, and like, could you imagine, like, you're in some post-apocalyptic future village, and just that thing breaks through your wall. It's like, fuck, we have no protection out here. Yeah, so there's that. It's for my, this is more of a promotional image. It's not something that's actually going to be in the pilot, but it's something that takes place in the world of my story. Just, yeah, it's a very powerful image right there. It goes pretty hard, I'd say. Pretty metal. Also, this one here is also part of my story. Yeah, creepy. Yeah, imagine you just have these things roaming through your city, and then all your government could do is just nuke them. With all the power, that's the best that they can do, is just nuke them. I mean, that's what we're up against here. And here, I'm not entirely sure what this is. I mean, it's somewhat intended to be for my story, but it's very out there in a kind of strange way. I was going for something very, like, uniquely grotesque and eerie and weird. Like the long humanoid body, limbs and thin frame, and that hump horn fin thing on his back. Eyes, beady black eyes. There's a snout and some lips for some reason. Why does it have lips? My lord. Yeah, it was just like a super rough out sketch of something that's probably gonna go nowhere. Just a scrap. Just a fucking napkin sketch, basically. Another from the same story as well. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not, but it's supposed to be. Its design is based off of Precambrian life. Some guy in a group chat recommended it to me to design certain monsters for my story with some that in mind, and this is what I came up with. Now, the context being is that imagine this thing, this pre-Cambrian looking strange motherfucker, but it's like nearly like a mile across. Nah, that's too fucking big even for what I'm going for. I'd say like a kilometer across. That's how long it is. That's how big it is. And it's just looming and floating in the air. Email notification. Nope, nothing good in the save searches. But yeah, just imagine this is a giant like thing in the air, and it's just slowly going through, coming by, and just very honestly doing that, and just occasionally coming down to snack on people. That's pretty scary. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to be something I'll ever incorporate in my story, or if it's just another concept that it's just going to be kind of just tossed aside. Here's one I've fallen in love with. I don't know when or where I'm going to incorporate this into my story, but I mean, it's pretty freaking cool. It was my first ever attempt at like fully sculpting, start to finish, like from block out to actual like sculpting in like the individual like nitty-gritty details. That's pretty much my first time doing that. I'd say it's decent. It came out decent. The thing is, how should I animate him? Because I'm trying to evoke, like stylistically evoke the visuals of like the aesthetic of 60s or 70s kaiju sci-fi movie type of thing, where practical effects reign supreme, and so a creature like this, if it was in my story, to make it have that look, I'd probably have to change the proportions if I was going for like the suitmation approach. Like the suitmation look, looking as if it's just like man in a suit, or make it look like it's some sort of puppet. Because that's what I'm going for stylistically is not in my pilot, at least, is the monsters being like they're little kaiju, they're giant, fucking giant monsters, and they're just supposed to be animated and rendered in such a way that they look as if they're not actual creatures, but men in rubber suits and shit like that. Basically, use 3D animation to mimic the look of old special effects. Another view of him. I call him the gore hog, because he gores things. Yeah, that's a more frontward angle, front onwards, or whatever the hell. Perhaps a bit too much detail. Like, the scales are given, but like certain things, like the ridges here, all these ridges up there, the spikes going in 2 different directions, symmetrically, could be a bit much in some places, but then again, I've never seen a monster that looks exactly like this. So I think I struck something somewhat original. This here is just a very cryptic image, promotional, of Mushroom Head. Ooh, Mushroom Head. There he is, just walking in the distance. And being fucking nuked. That's what all the glowing orange is. It's not sunset, it's him being nuked. This right here isn't like a final character design. It's not even for my story. It's for a friend's story that they want to make. It's my interpretation of one of their characters. It looks alright. Looks alright. It's supposed to be a Bigfoot. Canadian Bigfoot, specifically. Maybe even Albertan. But definitely a Bigfoot. And yeah, he's big, he's brawn, a bit stupid, but overall means well. Let's see. For this Godzilla design here that I'm going to be working on, I originally had the idea of adding like some sort of fin-like shape to its tail. The tip of its tail, kind of like an old concept art for the original movie. There was one iteration that had him having more of an aquatic look. I thought I was going to add that, but now I went for a slightly more official look. Biggest deviation being the chest and the head. Everything else is pretty on par with the movie. Like, yeah. Tail might be a bit shorter, but yeah. It's meant to mostly overall look like maquette sculptures for basically concept art for the original Godzilla movie. So, what else should I show? Can't show anything too explicit. I mean, not explicit, but too revealing, because I don't want to have like premature spoilers for my story. But yeah, I think that's all I have to show for like some screenshots I have on hand. So yeah, I guess we'll just get started right away. But first, I'm gonna take a massive fucking rip, like always. First, the vape. And the bong. It's a smidgen. It's a smidgen scoop. Yeah, we're just gonna tenderly scoop the flour into the bowl, like a ritual. I also have my clever little invention. It's a bong that I made into a sloof. It basically works like a reverse bong. You blow into where the bowl's supposed to be. And there's like some dryer sheets like at the top. It's supposed to help filter the smoke even more and make it smell better. So I'm going to be testing that out today. Not because I have an overly large need to hide smoke, but like sometimes it's nice to not always smell weed. Jesus. Didn't even get to use the sploof. Also, very calmly holding in my cough as much as possible. Even though this shit hits really hard. But the thing about sometimes when it comes to like wanting to heavily smoke every now and then is like the blowback from it. Like you know no one has ever died from taking like one massive bowl all at once, but you're gonna get fucking ripped. Even if you have a high tolerance, you do it for a while. It's a very potent amount, no matter how much THC there is in it. Like, that just does you in for a bit. At least for me, it does. Even though my tolerance is still pretty high. Oh. My nose is almost drooling from that. Oh. No. Yeah. That was a massive impact of it. And always remember, I don't think I did it before, but before and after, you must always sip. Or gulp a few chugs down. Been hot today. But also because I just find the more hydrated you are, the less likely you are to cough, because I don't know, I don't understand the science behind it. It just kind of works in my from my experience. I mean, I've only been smoking since holy shit, I was oh god, I'm old. I've only been smoking since I was 16. Now, 16-year-olds shouldn't be smoking. I do not endorse that. Let me be clear on that. I know the law. But, you know, in pre-legalization days, sometimes you just had to make do. What is right and wrong anyways? Like, in relation to what's legal. Because with drug legalization and war on drugs, in my opinion, it's a waste of time to a certain degree. Like, weed is nothing. It's fucking nothing compared to what else is out there. Like, I don't know, like, there's this one drug, what's it called? Heroin? It fucking, like, you gotta be really feeding if you are getting into heroin. Like, my God. Like, I understand there's different types of highs as opposed to levels of highs. Very drastically different from, like, a cannabis high, but there's just some things when it comes to drugs, recreational drugs at least, being, like, drugs being used recreationally. Yeah, you don't want shit to fuck you up, especially if you're one to, like, not necessarily get addicted, but, you know, just be, yeah, just do it often. Like, you can't just, like, wake and bake on fucking, I mean, people do, but, like, there's just drugs out there that are just too hard that should be illegal, like, just locked down strictly for safety reasons, but weed, weed is nothing. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on drug war and yep, I'm so baked that we are going on a lot of tangents. So many tangents, in fact, that I forgot I was supposed to be drawing. But yeah, these streams are supposed to be half and half, fucking around and getting it done. I want his ears to look like puffy and inflamed. So I'm not gonna do like the usual idea that you'd have for like a pointy ear is like, oh yeah, this is how it looks, like the inner part of the ear. Nah, this is a deformed, irradiated creature that we're designing, so we're going for like puffy and burned looking and scarred. Radioactive monsters are dope. Also, like, big sweeping lines. Like, I know my lines are breaking, like, I'm basically just doing chicken scratches. That's the one phase I could never get out of. It just felt more satisfying to, like, build up my lines and have them have a bit more of a wobbly look to them. I want his little fire for his eyeballs to be very bold as if he has eyeliner. Just to really emphasize his like very cold, dead stare. Because for this design, once it's fully like complete, the intent is to have his eyes be like almost white, kind of bluish, a little bit green here and there, like they're just dead eyes, as if he was blinded by the lights of the atomic bombs that irradiated him, something like that. thing with fictional shit is you can make up whatever Google gobble or whatever to suit the needs of the fantasy. There we go. Yeah. The 3D model also gives me an idea of like what it's supposed to, like, its form is supposed to be like too. So, looking at this in tandem with the line art, it's kind of giving me like a decent, like me personally, a decent idea of like what the finished thing is gonna look like. I'm one of those people that can like visualize shit in their head, whatever the hell that's called. Can make up fun stories in their heads for days. And just like imagine shit intensely. I don't know, but that's just me personally. like right here, it's supposed to look like these big gouging, like scar things. Oh, Dexter, relax. It's just a car. I plan on having most of his legs and the lower half of his tail mostly covered in smoke, so I don't need to do too much details in regards to this foot. Just at least have it there so it looks good in the fog. Insinuate some wrinkles on his leg. Well, his toes, basically, I don't know, ankle. Oh, now Dexter's getting these guys barking. That's great. Great for audio quality. Getting their voice in. That was Gus there. He's a wiener dog. Where are you yipping at? Hmm? They're good guard dogs, though. Doesn't mean I like them barking at everything. Despite their stature, they're very keen and loyal dogs. But also a little shit sometimes. The sun is getting real low. Where I am on this planet, the sun gets low at this particular moment. And then somebody's rummaging around in the kitchen, and then they feel the need to start barking. They mean well, though. I went to the brew house today and had nachos with a friend. It was pretty damn dope. It was dope. You know, just eating away like pigs in a trough at some nachos while just dicking around about shit. It's good time with the bros. I can also rectify certain defects in 3D model that don't matter up close inspection, like the teeth not being quite sharp. I didn't re-topologize this model, I just had it remeshed with lower topology, so it's not entirely perfect, but it somewhat got the job done, for a time at least. Plan on improving the model with some retopology. For those of you that don't know, retopology is just where you imagine like wrapping like an entire coat, or like around, like an entire suit around something, but it's polygons, like quads, which are like, you know, squares basically, or tris, which are triangles. Basically just a bunch of shapes to make up a shape. That's what 3D modeling is. Yeah, it's a nice tooth there. Yep, she's coming along. Give him like his cheek has some sort of scar. Something like this guy is super deformed. Like when you really take a good look at him. At least that's what I'm going for. Enough. Alright, Autobot, calm down. Ooh, yeah, it's coming along. Mhm. I have not saved the project once so far. I should probably do that. Click that save button every once in a while. Have you, because at some point we've all fallen victim to just like working like for a really long time on something and then not clicking save, and then it just fucking crashes. Yeah. Yep. Like a tortuga, because I am very slow, but I always get me way. Love that quote, or some variation on it, because that's how I work. Just when it comes to drawing, I go slow, but I get what I want. Yeah, that's about it for this guy right now. I like to take my time on certain projects. I like just really savor each brush stroke. Because, like, fucking just using these pens can be so satisfying, especially like the sound. Like, I don't know if it comes through on the mic, but it's very satisfying. As a felt tip, not plastic tip, felt tip. That's very crucial in some use cases. But yeah, I am taking a laboriously long time to get this, not the whole thing, but just the basic sketch down. It'll all come together. You'll see. Or wait, right there. You'll see. Yeah, I think we're done. Not the project, but working on this guy for now. I want to save him for another time. Like I said, I'm savoring this. Every moment of it. But what else should I work on? Aha! This one's actually crucial. Not that the other one isn't, but, here it is. Still very rough, but this right here. It's supposed to be a banner for this, YouTube series. Almost like a podcast sort of format, but it's pre-recorded. And the aesthetic of our banner and what we're calling the show is very based off of old 60s and 70s, 50s era sci-fi. So that's kind of what we're going with. Oh yeah. Yeah, the idea behind this one is, oh yeah, I already said that. Yeah, I just need to, I think where I'm gonna go next, because I'm building it up in layers, I'm going for like a very 2D painterly look. Like, old posters, like, just Google random, like something random, like an old sci-fi movie poster, like, you'll most likely get the gist of what this is supposed to be like when it's finished. We're going to take a quick break from drawing, or just procrastinating at this point on drawing, and take a quick look at something that I hold to myself very dearly. Hold up. We're just taking a quick, brief moment to look at maybe a clip or two of Team America World Police. I've been thinking about this movie a lot lately. It's been a while since I've watched it. I'm just gonna like, not the opening scene. Durka. Unhinged Team America moments. I guess we'll watch a compilation. Also, the faces of the puppets in this movie are just, they're a little bit, they're funny looking, but at the same time they're a little eesh. Looks like Chucky 2019. Obviously the bad guy. Yeah, okay. Fucking love this movie. Unhinged Team America moments.
You in the rows, put down the weapon of mass destruction and get on the ground. You're under arrest. Right, let's make it. I got him. Damn, I missed it.
The fucking, all the monuments of that particular region of the world that they're supposed to be are just like within walking distance from each other. That's great. Oh yeah, I am. We're just taking a quick break because I had this on my mind like all day, like some Team America, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Here, I'll show you. It's supposed to be it's very rough right now, obviously. It's supposed to be some banner art for a show that me and a friend are gonna do on this channel soon. Low-key podcast themed. But definitely pre-recorded and edited. Just like, yeah, something a bit more like condensed, but like, I don't know, but laid back, like a podcast, you know. It's that song. That fucking song. Probably the most understood song. Misunderstood. Because it operates on so many philosophical levels, as we're about to hear from the lyrics. It's like the fucking cantina scene from Star Wars. Oh my god. I love this movie. I gotta watch this one of these days again. I actually have it behind me on my Blu-ray shelf on Blu-ray. But just haven't gotten around to watching it. It's just the perfect movie. It's a parody of, like, what you imagine American blockbuster is. They're just speaking gibberish, holy shit. That's enough Team America for now. Because we need to get back on track. This 1960s, 50s, or 70s style era themed science fiction poster looking banner. Yeah, I think those make sense. It's supposed to be reminiscent of like certain tropes, like there's me wearing my helmet, looming over everything, and then there's like this hostile environment. Like you're gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it, but there's gonna be fucking lava, like going between his legs and running down the. Why am I touching my screen? You can't even see where I'm pointing at. But yeah, like conceptually, it's like gonna be like the bomb, the fucking bomb. What is the what? But yeah, this is that trope where some monster or alien or robot or some sort of creature that we want to kill, like with a damsel in distress. Can't wait to work on that. That's actually what we're going to work on next. Building this up in layers. Layer, import. Yep. Oh yeah, it needs to be in front of the ground layer as well. Yeah, let's stay there. There's a good placement, and there I have it, the more realized idea of what this is supposed to look like, at least in regards to the proportions and shapes of the human form. So, I don't see any point in keeping this guide sketch, this napkin sketch, this very basic outline here. Just do away with that for now. And then Yep, I'm definitely high. Uh, all the more reason to get even more high. It's a day off. Fuck you. Oh my god, the walls. Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh. 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 Yeah. Basically, that hit really fucking hard. Holy shit. Bulbous. Yeah, we're just super roughing it out right now. Just kind of like almost sculpting in shapes we want with quick strokes. At least that's how I do it. Because this is like a slightly farther away thing. It doesn't have to be. Plus, it's of a certain art style. It doesn't have to be super complex and super anatomy accurate. Just accurate enough to human anatomy that gets the point across, just like what the style that we're trying to emulate. Yeah. He's also gonna be wearing like some kind of space suit, so I don't really have to like do the anatomy super well. I just need to get like certain nuances in there. Like where the hips are located, where the knees begin and end, the curves of the thigh upwards to the pelvis. Basically giving him Superman underwear. Sometimes for fun, sometimes for practical reasons. To like give me an idea of where his pants line is supposed to be. His belt line or whatever the fuck. But then again, he's wearing a fucking spacesuit, so I can do whatever I want. That's the great thing about it. He's gonna be wearing some sort of boots, so I don't need the. I'm just getting what I need from this 3D model and no more. Just the shape. Kind of using it like a ruler. Like this is supposed to be here in this section here. Type shit. I don't know. I always use 3D models in some fashion when it comes to 2D art these days. It's all about that secret sauce. That secret sauce. Your artsy nature. The fingers need a little bit more attention though. Because we're going for like semi-realistic. So we need to be like some, a little bit extra details. That's if I decide to put gloves on or not. I'm just kind of going on the fly with this one. Just kind of like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. She doesn't need to be that caked up though. Reduce that a wee bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I deviate from the model substantially sometimes. Yeah, just basically my process is use a 3D mannequin to get your basic idea of, like, right away as soon as you have the canvas open. And then just kind of build off of that. Yep. Oh yeah. We're gonna leave the head for now. I have to bring in some reference art for that. Gonna click that save button. It's been a while. Don't want to lose this genuine progress we've made so far. Oh yeah. Forgot her head. There's her bit of her ear there. Brow ridge. Yep. Perfect boob fold curve. I think that's what you call it. I don't know the anatomical shit. Yep. His head we are leaving for now. Because we have a little inside joke that we're going to bring in for him, for his head. Basically, it started out as I don't know where it is right now. It's probably long lost to the world. But, it was just some, like, quick sketch. It wasn't even a good, like, sketch. It was just, like, some portrait sketch of my friend and the friend I'm doing this show with, and it just, it looked like him, but it was bordering on, like, really shittily done caricature type of portrait. Because, like, he had, like, the forebrow ridge of, like, a caveman, and he looked, like, very, like stone-faced, like, I don't know what you would call it, but, yeah, and then we just kept it for, like, a few years, and then we got the idea for making this banner. It's basically that sketch for him. He's like this weird mutated alien thing. Because it just looks too perfect, and it's like just a good inside joke between me and him. Doesn't really matter if the background's in yet, it's just line art. But, just kind of getting a feel for it, really. Yeah. Just kind of like plotting where I go next. Because, I mean, the next step is obvious, I need to sketch out his head, but right now I'm thinking about the step after that is, like, how I'm going to go about his suit, because I'm just doing this on the fly. I never had, like, a pre-made design, for his suit made up yet, so it just needs to look very either 50s, 60s, or 70s, and sci-fi spacesuit looking. Because he's like wearing headphones. You're gonna see it pretty soon, but he like an old sketch I made like a couple years ago when we were gonna start, but then shit came up, and then yeah, that concept sketch of like he's basically got headphones, but they have like alien antennas on them. It's pretty funny. sun is getting low. Ooh. Yep. There we go, that's a bit better for the camera. Problem is, I have this on an arm that's not exactly that steady. I mean, it's very convenient, the arm, like, having the arm, but like, it's not entirely steady, so when I'm drawing in these streams, gradually, the camera shifts this way, and this way, and this way, and then, fuck, the green screen's all fucked up. The lighting, it's all about the lighting. The camera must stay there, and no more. You can't always get what you want, you know? Also, I'm slouching. I need to... Fuck. I need to adjust the height of this camera. So that I can slouch and the green screen don't get fucked up. I don't know, it's a pretty jank green screen. I'm probably gonna see if there's some sort of plugin that I can install to... that basically has better green screen. Then that's gonna, like, take away more computer resources. It's a juggling act, streaming on just one computer. Because how much quality of this, for example, with video games, how much quality of the stream do you sacrifice to, like, make the game be, like, perform better? Like, yeah, you gotta factor those things in if you're gonna do this. That's the funny thing, like, I don't do this a lot in the grand scheme of things, and all the time I've done it. Like, it's really not, like, that much compared to, like, what some other people stream. But, I've figured out quite a bit over the years. When it comes to, like, just anything that happens on computer almost. So if it's digital, I like it. Video games, yep. Digital art, yep. 3D printing especially. Oh, I love 3D printing. Like, one of my favorite 3D prints actually. This tub of shit right here, this fat tub of lard, buttermilk Bob. Yeah, I got him off of some dude's Patreon. He's supposed to be like a caricature of some sort of Warhammer demographic. Also for, as far as 3D printing is concerned, I have this 3D printed articulated Godzilla here. And the gaps are like crazy on it. Like, it's no SH Monster Arts or NECA or Kia Toys, but I want a 75 Godzilla that's articulated, so I'm gonna make one if nobody's gonna make one for me. And the mouth. The mouth opens. Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna completely resculpt over him with green stuff, which is a type of epoxy putty that has very soft plastic or hard rubber type consistency once it's filled. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, is just resculpt over this guy and maybe shore up the gaps a bit. That's how I'm gonna do it, because that's the thing about 3D printing is the layer lines. Like, you can't escape it, even if you're doing resin printing, which has substantially better resolution. Layer lines are always going to be a thing. Unless you get like 16K, if that's even a thing yet. 16K resolution. Basically, fucking tabletop quality models at that point. FDM printing, to me, is like it's like a very precise type of art if you want to print something but also have it look good, like really good. Like, that's not all I have. Like that Artemis Bob I just showed, Godzilla, or articulated Godzilla. Also have Gamera, stylized version of Gamera. It's a knockoff of Godzilla, and yeah, I 3D printed that, but I'm also resculpting it because if you know anything about like FDM printing, it there are certain areas where if you want to look immaculate, you gotta like do some post-processing, like sand it down, resculpt it, sand it down some more, resculpt it some more. What I personally like to do is take an epoxy putty, any kind will do really. I don't know about green stuff or what's it called? Kneadtite? I don't know. But that's what green stuff is, the actual name of it. Green stuff is just Games Workshop or Citadels, or I don't know, some wargaming, tabletop wargaming company's brand. But yeah, when it comes to, I'm too baked for that. I could talk about that shit for hours though, but yeah, let's see. Yep. I think that's it for this stream. Enough drawing mayhem for today. But, you know, the rambling is fun. And the smoking takes up at least half of these types of streams I do. Gotta stop with that procrastination on a drawing stream, but hey, this is a 420 friendly channel. Some inebriation is expected. Figured I'd finish this live stream off at least with looking at some more of my art. Just share it with you guys. guess we're opening Krita again. But this here is my rendition of my interpretation of one of my friend's characters for his story. Yeah, this here could definitely be more rendered. Like, I just did the flat colors, and that was it. But it gets the idea across, and that's all I needed from it. I just wanted to, like, draw out how I personally visualize his character. She's supposed to be a vampire. She has pointy ears, red eyes, and fangs, as all vampires should. And she has an umbrella because she doesn't like the sun, because she's a fucking vampire. What'd you expect? But that makes you wonder, why would she wear such revealing clothes if she is a vampire? Well, that's because I just like revealing clothes. The human form is beautiful. But yeah, that's my friend's character for his story. At least my interpretation of it so far. Oops. A commission was seen. That's all you need to know. There are spoilers in this recent projects. So, but anyways, let's keep looking around at stuff. This is supposed to be a 3D reference model for a more anime style version of this guy here, that character, that 2D drawing right there of H.R. the Bigfoot. And yeah, it looks creepy right now, but after I get it fully sculpted, you know, it's gonna start to shape up. Not going for like hyper detail, something more cartoony, but like also has like enough detail in the sculpt so you know where to put certain lines. Again, you could also just do like textures, like lines on a 3D model, but I mean, it also helps with shading. Like, if you need an idea of what the shading should look like on the face, depending on how rendered you want to go with the 2D art. Oh, here's a good one. Yeah, I guess we're branching out into 3D now. Aha! This is also for my friend's story, my interpretation of what one of his characters is supposed to look like, of course. It's supposed to be like this armored, fossilized, basically this T-Rex fossil is haunted by Lucifer in his story, and then he armors himself up and basically becomes like some madman tyrant in his story. I don't know. And this is kind of like the basic block I have so far for like the shape of the robot head portions. Going for somewhat blocky, somewhat angular and sharp. Something sharp as well, you know. And a lot of rivets, because I love rivets. What else should we look at here? Oh yes. Let's back up a bit and let's take a look at where is it? I wonder which character I should show. Definitely not something from my pilot just yet. At least something too explicit from the pilot I'm working on. But yeah, let's see here. What should I show? Yep. Just opening up a project file in Krita. There it is. Let's see, how spoilery is this? Okay. It's very basic so far. It's just a quick basic sketch of a British character that I have in my story. A little bit further ahead in the timeline, but You know, it's good to have them designed just in case. Just in case I make it that far. He looks a little bit too happy here. I suppose his grin is supposed to look, his smile is supposed to look a little bit more put on. Maybe it's his eyes. Maybe I should, like, give his eyes, like, a bit more of a more narrow look. I mean, it looks kind of alright over here. It's not meant to be zoomed in on that close, but yeah, he's looking decent over here. But this one, I don't know. Something a bit off about it, to me at least. Guess I'll finish off this stream with a hearty, fairly hearty bong hit. Here we go. Fuck me, that hit harder than it seemed. Shit. Yeah, that's enough mayhem for today. I guess I'll catch you next time. When will next time be? I don't know, who knows. But I'll see you next time.